Am I writing large enough?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Can you really tell us how many there might be of the problems, or
Can I do that? How about I send you an email? Because I just don't want to spend time on it. Okay. Find the equation of a plane with intercepts. If you're actually on my email list, I already sent you an outline with expected numbers for each one. So it's there. I will alter it from what I've just talked to Wyckoff and send it again. He said that there was a ton of 10-1, 10-2, and he said that 10-4 is a big one on this, which usually means they usually only have one from 10-4. So I'm guessing that they have a salt and a money. He said there's 3. Let's hope for 2 money. Okay. So this says the equation of a plane with intercepts x equals 2, y equals 3, and z equals 4. Here's what you do. We just say x over its intercept plus y over its intercept plus z over its intercept equals 1. That is your equation. However, they don't like fractions, so what's my common denominator?
12.
So I multiply the entire equation by 12, so I get 6x plus 4y plus 3z equals 12. This is an exact problem I've seen on every version of the test. We're just going to agree on a code right now. Anytime I think you should know this problem, that means I've seen it on every version of the test. Okay?
Good code.
Good code?
Yes.
Good code.
Great, I'm going to have to edit that out. Jackie likes this idea. Oh, is your chair broken?
Yeah.
Do you want to grab
It's
this
so
chair?
comfy.
She's like happy. She did everything for us. Okay. That's what you need to know from 9.1. I'm going to just verbally tell you what you need to know from 9.1 and then go on to 9.2. You need to know how to do an equation of the plane. There's always one question on that. Next, they always have one where you just plug in x for x and y for y. However, it's almost always a story problem. So you have to read it, and they give you an equation. They give the equation, and they say like, I think it's about cows. I think it's like, this equation models how many cows can be fed on this pasture land where x is acres of alfalfa and y is acres of, I don't know, wheat or something like that. And it's like, you have 200 acres of alfalfa and 500 acres of wheat. How many cows can you have? Just make sure you plug in the right one for the right one, because they tell you what x is. Like they say x is alfalfa, y is wheat, and then they tell you the other order, like they tell you the numbers in backwards order of the variables that they gave you. Does that make sense? So just make sure you plug the right thing in for the right thing, but you can handle that. 9.3, you see I told you we were going to fly. Okay. You have to, right? I want to spend time on the hard stuff. I think you can get help on 9.1 and 9.2 just as well from any other TA. Okay, f of x, y is equal to, can I bring it? Oh, I need to do that. I need to this is my folder on test 4 for your class. It's okay. I distilled it down to important things. This is my folder of test 4 right now. It's okay. You can handle it. Okay. I'm just looking for an equation to have you maximize. No, I don't want to do one from my test. Does anyone have the practice test with them right now that I never use? If not, I can just grab one of my 8 copies. Oh, beautiful. No, thank you. She's just on the front row. It's a little bit easier. Okay. Okay, here we go. I want to do number 10 because it's hard and because I want to show you how to do it easier.
is this from your practice test?
No, I don't want to do my practice test until after the weekend when you guys have had a time, at least a chance to try it.
Which one is
Number 10. We're supposed to find max, min, or saddle point, okay? I think this is why this test is hard. I think this test is hard because you have so many things that you learned. You learned derivatives and integrals in the same thing. And not only did you learn double integrals with two variables, but you're learning like differential equation stuff. That's what separable and integrating factor is. So I think that test is hard because it's not like just integrals or just derivatives, it's both. General rule of thumb, if it says maximize or minimize or extrema, derivative. Is that okay? Okay, first things first, we're going to find our first derivatives. So the derivative with respect to x is going to be 3x squared. The derivative of y cubed with respect to x is 0. And the derivative of 4xy with respect to x is 4y. Then we would have f sub y is equal to 3y squared plus 4x. Okay, now comes the hard part. You're supposed to be able to figure out what the critical points are. This is the part that most people mess up. Let me invite you to think of it a different way. Anything I plug in for x and y that makes this equation 0 is a critical point. It's multiple choice. There's usually like 2 points that they give you. Almost always 0, 0, and then 1 point that's right and 1 point that's the same thing, but the signs are switched. Just plug them in. Whichever one gives you 0 when you plug it in is the right one. Now let me show you how to do it the ugly algebra way. Right? Jackie likes it when you do that. I'm going to solve for y here. So I would have 4y equals negative 3x squared. I'm going to divide by 4. So now I'm going to say y equals negative 3/4 x squared. And I'm going to plug that into the other equation. The part that most people miss on this part is the squared. That whole thing is squared. So if I square this, the 3 out front stays. Negative 3/4 would become a 9/16. X squared would become x to the 6th. No, I'm sorry. 4. I can count. Plus 4x. Is that okay so far? Is that better? Saw everyone trying to see. It's better for me too, then I don't have to like crawl around on the ground. 3 times 9 is 27 over 16, x to the 4th plus 4x. I'm going to take an x all the way out. Oh, you know what? I totally spaced. I need to get a roll, and where did I put my stuff? Okay, I forgot a roll, so I'm just going to have you guys, I'm going to send 2 around so that it's faster. Okay, roll for this direction. Roll for you guys. I'm going to do one more step, and then I'm going to have you guys do something else for me. Where did I put my pen? Okay, I'm taking an x out of this. So I'd have 27/16 x cubed plus 4 equals 0. We all good so far? I hope so. Okay, so now I'm going to set each of these equal to 0 individually. So x equals 0. And then if I set this equal to 0, I'm going to multiply everything by 16 because I'm not really great with fractions. Subtract the 64 to the other side. Divide by 27. X is equal to the cubic root of negative 64 over 27, which is equal to negative 4, which I can't seem to write. Negative 4/3. Okay, so if x is 0, what is y? 0. So this is a point. If x is negative 4/3, I'm going to actually write this out like this instead, so that you can see that the negatives would cancel, the 4s would cancel, the 3s would cancel, And I'm left with y equals negative 4/3 and x equals negative 4/3. So this is another point. Now that I have that, I'm still not done. I have to use my big D formula. The big D formula will be on your formula sheet. However, the interpretation of it will not. Everyone clear? Do you guys remember the big D formula? It's okay, I'm just going to put a formula on.